Good afternoon and welcome to Spielberg and to a circuit that in one form or another has held every Austrian Grand Prix in the championship except the very first back in 1964. It was at this race that John Watson lost a bet and his beard when he took Team Penske's only F1 victory in 1976. If anything, the stakes are even higher today with 25 points available for victory and a crucial advantage in the championship fight. It's one of the shortest laps on the calendar today then, with 7 rights and just 3 lefts, making up the 10 corners of this high-speed circuit. Turn 2 is barely a corner at all. They'll be flat out through there, a left-hand kink into the uphill braking zone of turn 3. Turns 1, 3 and 4 are all potential opportunities to overtake. A warm welcome to Anthony Davidson, who's beside me in the commentary box today. Let's talk briefly about Lando Norris. They're still relatively new to a sport which does have a high learning curve and, of course, little tolerance for mistakes.
And this is something that has ended the career of many a young driver, as that leap up to Formula One proves to be too much. But luckily in this case, I'd say they're doing a good, solid job, and the risk the team took in signing them is definitely starting to pay off.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Verstappen, Lee, Sebastian Vettel and Leclerc, Hülkenberg, Magnussen, Ricciardo and Pierre Gasly, Raikkonen, Weber, Lance Stroll and Russell, Grosjean, Perez, Lando Norris and Devon Butler. Sainz and Alexander Albon picks up the last spot on the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
So then only one grid penalty out there, and it's unfortunately for Perez, who qualified 6th, but is taking a 10-place grid penalty and will start 16th. So we remain in the excellent 4th place. You can see there are only 3 cars ahead of us for a change. So the race strategy, soft mediums, okay, that's interesting. We have got a set saved from qualifying and a set available to us in the race. And then we've got the medium tyres. That's not a bad strategy to actually run. The soft, medium, hard, which is the other strategy I predicted earlier on in the previous episode, is actually 7 seconds slower. Fuel is going to be crucial here. 3 laps I think we're going to be needing, because we can push it into rich mix going down the straights, because it doesn't really put too much wear on the tyres. Running rich mix in the corners adds a lot of strain to the tyres and will increase your tyre wear quite considerably, but running down the straights, it makes no difference at all. You're going in a straight line. So soft medium is the good strategy to have. If we find out that the softs are burning off at a quicker rate than we expected and we're losing time, then we can obviously go soft, hard. We have a hard tyre available to us. So that is a strategy we'll do. It looks like then even a low tyre management is a 2-stop strategy here. So I think most of the field will be on a 2-stop, which means our 4th place is looking better and better as it goes on. So then we'll start the formation lap. And look at this. We're at almost the very front of the field.
System checks are good. We need to stay in formation and start bringing the car up to temperature, please. Get some load into the tyres and work the brakes. We want them nice and warm by the end of the lap.
So we are right in the mix then with the big boys here at Austria. We've got 2 Mercedes and the Red Bull ahead of us, and both the Ferraris behind. The other Red Bull, Gasly, is I think down in 10th place, but I'm sure he'll move up the field at some point. Let's not hit Verstappen. Just cycle through the next tyres, and obviously the soft tyres. Pit window lap 9 to 15. That's a bit optimistic, trying to get these tyres to lap 15. If I did that, I would probably go straight onto the mediums. I think it's a 35 lap race this, so it's going to pass quite quickly, I feel. These are the tyre temps. We're okay on the rears, not so much on the fronts, but that's fine. And there we go then. The AI now takes control, as Vettel decides to just absolutely steam through everyone. Wow, okay. Bit cheeky. Maybe he's making his intentions very clear to me early on by saying, I'm going to get past you straight away. I don't want to lose too many positions off the start. We know how aggressive EAI can be. We know how shy I can be as well. But again, I don't want to absolutely send it up the inside into turn 1, 2 or 3 and end up outbraking ourselves and damaging the car. Heart rate is now starting to rise.
The start sequence will begin.
Final car is in position.
Be ready with the clutch.
Our best qualifying of the season. Can we turn it into the best race of the season? 5 lights Austria. And away we go. Not the best launch, not the best one. We'll protect the inside. Oh, we did send it. I'm boxed in. Oh, over the curb. Yellow flag's behind. So we've lost the position to Vettel. Hulkenberg's up to 6th. But overall, an acceptable first half of the lap. We're losing a lot of front downforce in this section of the track following a car this closely. Don't try it. And in a blink of an eye, lap 1 is completed. Oh, Hulkenberg defending from Leclerc into turn 1. We take it without incident and remain in 5th place, and we've bridged a bit of a gap as well, so that's going to help us. P5 for now, I'll take it. The final corner in to complete lap 2. Not doing too bad, holding our own quite nicely.
Entering lap 3 now. DRS has been
2.2 second gap to Hulkenberg behind. DRS is now being enabled, but we've got no one behind us and no one in front of us. So we just got to keep pushing on these tyres. So come around then to complete lap 4 into lap 5. 2.2 behind Vettel now, 2.2 ahead of Hulkenberg. So we're sort of in the middle of no man's land at the moment, which I'm fine with. I just want to focus on this first stint all by myself, not have any distractions trying to overtake or be overtaken. And so far we're doing everything right here for a positive result. Running rich fuel mix all the way to turn 3 from the start finish line. The same for ERS mode, then we knock it down to 2 and 2.
Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
Jeff is offering us a new strategy, pitting at the end of lap 8. We'll stick with 9. Because as long as we've still got the grip and general pace, I'll push these as far as possible. Ooh, a little bit twitchy there actually. So just coming around and start lap 8. Hulkenberg has caught us by a couple of attempts over the last 2 or 3 laps, but if you look further back as well, you can see that there's a massive gap between Hulkenberg and whoever it is, I believe Leclerc, in 7th place. So even though we're only 2 seconds ahead of Hulkenberg, 1.7 now actually, we're about 6 seconds ahead of the guys in the 7th, 8th, 9th and so forth. Moving up ahead, Vettel and Verstappen going into battle, which will slow them up. So this is a lap the team wanted me in. Tyres feel okay.
Slightly worn rubber at this point. Should still have a fair amount of grip left, but be mindful, it's going to start falling away.
As Jeff said there, the tyres are now starting to come to the end of their life. But this is good. If we can push a qualifying set to the end of at least lap 8, we can definitely get a brand new set to about lap 19 or 20, and then we'll be safe on the medium tyres. So soft medium is certainly the way to go here. They're starting to get some understeer in the final 2 corners. That's not going to help us. Hulkenberg is slowly creeping up on us.
We're coming in this lap.
Yep, I'm pitting at the end of this lap then. for another set of soft tyres. I could go medium soft, but I think soft medium is the way to go. So this is the absolute best time to pit, and that's what we're going to do. Move over to the right hand side, get inside that white line. Right, in we come then. There's a few other drivers in. Hulkenberg's carried on, and quite a few drivers are carrying on actually. So where we'll join is going to be crucial. It's another set of soft tyres for us then. Green light, and away we go. We're going to have to get our overtaking shoes on here then, because we're out behind a gaggle of these back markers, which Vettel is actually in amongst. And we're going to be uber quick compared to these guys. They're on used mediums or on brand new softs. So we've got to find our way through these guys as soon as possible, because they're not going to pit for a handful of laps. Trying to get past Albon here into turn 1. We've completed. Other cars coming out the pits. Oh God. Oh my God. That's how you overtake 2 cars in 1 corner. That was mental stuff, but we're through. We're past that collection of slow crap, to be honest, and now we can push on here. Already back up to P11. Other people have made pit stops as well, but to be honest, I wasn't focusing on who's in the pits. I was focusing on making sure I can get past all of them guys. That was hair-raising stuff, wasn't it? But we're through now. Next target is Sainz. Well, I believe he's probably pitting at the end of his lap, because he quite clearly started on those soft tyres. Raikkonen in as well, from the lead actually. He took the lead, indeed. Sainz is pitting, moving over to the right hand side. So we'll continually climb the order back up here.
Gap to car in front is 9.0 seconds.
Let's come and start lap 13. That's Vettel ahead, who are catching hand over fist. He's stuck behind slower cars. As you can see, there's trying. Oh, and Verstappen's involved as well there. So we're going to catch Vettel and Verstappen very, very quickly here. Because not only are they behind slower cars, but they're also battling each other as well. Right with them. Look at that. We've even got DRS as well. It's going to get interesting. Oh, and all pitting ahead. Oh. Right, but now it does free us up again. Oh, he overshot. We'll keep in position now. Aggressive stuff here. So Verstappen is still giving chase, coming into that 15 as you would expect, but I feel very comfortable with the car, the way it's handling, the way the tyres, when they go off, I can tell when they're starting to go off, where I'm going to struggle, and it's giving me the confidence to keep pushing this car forward. We lost quite a bit of time to both Leclerc and Hulkenberg behind with all that battling on the previous lap, or previous couple of laps behind them slower cars, but we are in a net 4th place because everyone ahead and behind has to pit again. It's all about just maintaining this composure and these lap times.
Bottas is leading the race.
We might have a run here, we might have a run of Vettel. We've caught so much in the last lap. He defends the inside.
The gap to the car ahead is 6.6 seconds.
I was going to try the old cutback. Oh, look at the traction. I mean, high EOS and high fuel mix certainly helped. And we're up into 3rd place. So coming over the line to start lap 20. We possibly might pit at the end of this lap. Leclerc behind has got a bit of a charge on because he's not only caught and passed both Vettel and Verstappen, but he's closing down on me as well. Meanwhile, Vettel has not only fallen behind me and his teammate, but also Verstappen as well. So Leclerc is the stronger Ferrari at the moment. Vettel is the weaker one, but they are just there. As I've got Jeff in my ear telling me about the tyre wear, I do know, and I think we're going to try and protect ourselves here. Box at the end of this lap. A lap or two early. Try and protect this 3rd place if we can. Nicely on the marks. Into the pits we come then. Both the Ferraris of Verstappen disappear ahead. We'll fall down the order. I hope and pray we can come out in some clean air.
Release.
I don't think we will. We're alongside Ricciardo here. Crucial to make this move stick. Squeeze him out. Right, let's get a push on now. Make the soft tyre. The medium tyres, I should say. The fresh medium tyres. Make it work to our advantage. So one of the Ferraris is in the pits at the moment. Not too sure which one it is.
Gap to teammate ahead is
It's Vettel.
4 seconds. Our gap behind is 2.0 seconds.
And we do comfortably rejoin, still ahead of Vettel. Hopefully that'll be the case when Verstappen and Leclerc pit. And look at these two fighting ahead of me. I don't need this. Or maybe I'll do. Look at the traction we're going to get. It's another double overtake. Beautifully done. Beautifully done.
Brilliant.
Let's push on. So Verstappen and Leclerc are in the pits at the moment as we start lap 23.
Stopping now.
And we stay ahead of them just from Leclerc. So their soft tyres are now 2 laps fresher than mine. We're running out of fuel as well. We've got just over half a lap left, so I can't run fuel rich mix as much as I was in the opening 2/3 of this race. So I think our podium position will come under threat. We've just got to push now to try and hold on to it if we can. So Raikkonen pits from just ahead of us, and it's giving us DRS as well, but here comes Leclerc. Oh my god. Oh, the cutback is beautiful. Suck on that. .26 Leclerc. Yeah.
18.7 seconds.
Gonna get a better exit. We've got DRS. We'll try it again. Yeah, the cutback works. But turn, oh, we went a little wide there. Turn 2, we're going to be in trouble. Just hug the inside. Oh, bit of contact. And we're not going to get the cut back this time. Well, it's a shame, but I think it was only a matter of time. We'll keep pushing though. We might be able to get him back in a lap or two. So into lap 28 now. Gasly has finally pitted. Leclerc sets the fastest lap of the race. And we can't really run rich fuel mix anymore, because we're going to be running out of fuel here. So I feel we're going to come under attack from Vettel. And Verstappen is only a couple of seconds back as well. If we do fall behind Vettel and Verstappen, we'll be pretty safe in 6th, which is a great result, don't get me wrong. But it's disappointing to not, at the moment, finish on a podium at least. Things could change. But we're falling back here at the moment. Just got to keep pushing. Hope for the best. Vettel's at my inside.
We need to look after the tyres. We won't be making another pit stop.
And passes into turn 1, dropping us down to 5th. And there's Verstappen. We could try and get back at Vettel here. Around the outside. Yeah, we make the move stick. Out of the final corner again. It's a lap by lap play at the moment into lap 30.
4.2 seconds.
Nothing into turn 1. I'm a bit blind going into turn 1 to be honest, because of the sun. Running rich mix again to try and protect ourselves going into turn 2, but we're almost out of fuel here. So we've got to be savvy with the defending from now on. Not long to go in this race. Here comes Vettel into turn 1. Even though he's got DRS, we're in the slipstream. Oh, that's a tight angle. Oh my god!
We have 5 laps of fuel remaining.
Alright, we'll take the position back. To be honest, I'm trying to back out of it as best as I could, because the gap was closing and closing and closing. Some pretty aggressive and probably not really... Oh my god, I'm about to break myself. Just about saved ourselves, as I was saying, before I was rudely interrupted by my wildly understeering Alfa Romeo. Is some of the moves we're putting on at the moment, it's a bit borderline, well, penalty wise, but if the game doesn't give me anything, I'll keep pushing on. So out the final corner again, lap 32 or 36. These laps disappear quickly. I've got like no fuel left. I can't really run rich mix here. Here we go again then, lap 33. Defend the inside. Absolutely just left for dead. Oh, don't turn in, dude!
Bottas is out in front.
Try and get him back, try and get him back, try and get him back. Oh my god. Oh, tyres are starting to go. Whoa, look at that slide. We've been overdriving this car in this stint of tyres. I think these tyres... Oh, they understeer.
3 laps of fuel remaining.
DRS of Vettel, but Verstappen's got DRS on me.
We're leading our teammate by 13.3 seconds.
Leave it all on the table. Got no fuel, no ERS left. Gaining, 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 gaining. And I've massively outbraked myself. Oh, you clown. Verstappen is probably going to get past me here. My tyres, I think, are shot. This is down to P6.
We're expecting rain in around 10 to 15 minutes.
Right, 2 laps to go then, once we cross the line. I mean, lean fuel mix. ERS is off at the moment. We'll bump it up to low a little bit. I've got DRS. If I can stay with these guys and save as much fuel in ERS as possible, we can try push to try and get past the pair of them on the final lap. Oh, look at that. Verstappen has blocked Vettel. Oh, he braked a bit too early there. Just got to stay with him.
Only 1 lap of fuel remaining.
Oh, there's a scrappy couple of corners. We've got the fuel. We've got enough ERS to push a little bit. But are we going to get DRS? We are going to get DRS coming into the final lap then. Here we go then.
This is your final lap of the race.
This is go time. We're going to be compromising to turn 1. Oh, yes. Get past Vettel straight away. Here comes Verstappen.
We advise moving to mix 2. Fuel to mix 2.
Oh, he's bounced across the curbs. It's a drag race, but we'll have DRS. Oh, brake as late as we dare. We've kept the position. And look at that, it's brought Gasly and the Renault into it as well. This is now a 5-way scrap for 4th place. ERS up, fuel down. Middle of a circuit. Again, middle of a circuit. We have to defend the inside. Out of the final corner. We're going to do it. It's a P4 Austria. What a great result. Now that is a race worthy of a quality highlight package. I can't wait to go away and edit this down and then upload it for you guys to watch this, because that was just incredible. We started in 4th, we finished in 4th. That's not the problem. Or any issue at all with that. It was, you know, it's a 2-stop strategy. We see a majority, probably all the field had to go on. We had to fight our way through the slower cars after each stint as well, and then the last 2 laps there were just absolutely mental. You know, I was concentrating and pushing the car so hard on those dying medium tyres as well, and we prevailed and we got back that 4th place that I so desperately wanted. It's a shame we couldn't get on the podium. Leclerc was just in another league on that final set of tyres. He finished 18 seconds ahead of us. But you look at that, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th separated by a second. It brought Gasly and Hulkenberg, who were nowhere at one point, right back into the mix as well. But Bottas and Hamilton secure a fairly easy 1-2 for Mercedes after starting 1st and 2nd on the grid. Leclerc has done very well, to be honest, 6th to 3rd on the podium. We pick up our best result of the season to match our best qualifying of the season with 4th place ahead of Verstappen, Vettel, Gasly, Hulkenberg. Raikkonen there, didn't really mention him too much, I don't think, but he finished in 9th place. I think it's the first time that both Alfa Romeo cars are finishing the points, and Magnussen completes the final point in 10th place. Outside of the points then, 11th downwards is Ricciardo, Grosjean, Perez, Webber, Stroll, Sainz, George Russell, Norris, Butler and Alexander Albon, who is a lap down. And I think it's the first time this season that all 20 cars that started finished the race. So in the standings then, Bottas has taken the lead now. Wow, that's close at the top. 4 points separates Bottas, Vettel and Leclerc. Verstappen in 4th. Hamilton slowly rising back up the order, but he's a long way off in 5th place. Gasly, Perez and ourselves now inside the top 8 after that great result. Magnussen in 9th. Ricciardo in 10th place, level on points with his teammate Hulkenberg. Norris, Raikkonen with a couple of extra points in 13th. Stroll, Sainz, Butler, Webber, Grosjean and Russell. And yet again Albon, poor old Alexander Albon, finished last here. He's last in the driver's standings as well. As for the constructors, no change. I think for the first time this season the teams remain as they are, but Ferrari hold a 52-point advantage over Mercedes. Red Bull pretty much safe in third place. It's a tie for fourth between Force India and Renault, 56 points each, and our very promising result from both cars here, Raikkonen and ourselves, brings us right back into that battle for fourth place. We're just 6 points behind the pair of them now on a nice round 50 points after 9 races here. McLaren in 7th from 32, 2 points ahead of Haas in 8th from 30, and a long way ahead of Toro Rosso in 9th, and Williams in 10th on 4 points.
Great work out there today. Let's have your thoughts.
Things looked close between you and your rival for a bit, but you came out on top, didn't you? It's safe to say you're smashing everyone's expectations, isn't it?
Great. Well, that's everything.
So the rivalry breakdown is to be very healthy against both Raikkonen and Russell's beaten, we know that already, but 4-2 against Raikkonen. We're now leading that 10 points to 8, which is very nice, and the George Russell rivalry has now finished. We can select a new rival. The resource points for the racing, race position versus qualifying, only 50 because we finished where we started, but there is our race bonus as well. So 50% race bonus now, so a healthy 337 for the race with all things considered, takes us over 2,500. And the reputation there, it's 100% with Alfa Romeo, a very strong race, which means the reputation of all of the teams went up, and then a couple of questions there in the interview after the race enabled me to increase again our reputation with the team. So it's 100% for the first time this season. It'd be nice to keep it there, but it will be a struggle. One poor performance will see that drop all the way down, but it's good to see that the reputation of other teams as well has gone up quite well. The worst is Mercedes, it's about 20-25% I'd say, but that's fine, I'm not too bothered by that. But yeah, second highest looks like it's the Haas team as well. Ferrari's dropped down a little bit, even though we are a part of their academy. But again, I want to kind of stay with Alfa Romeo for as long as I deem necessary. So spec level up just a little bit then. We're from the rookie to veteran status. The sportsmanship and showmanship side stays as it is. That's going to take a while to build that up to a respectable level. And therefore that is the race over and done with.
Rivals is also going to an upcoming historical event. If you choose to take him on, it might help get your name out there a bit.
So yeah, again, we've got a couple of classic car events, which I'm not interested in at the moment. It's something I will pursue later on in the career and do off camera, unless anyone's actually interested in watching me drive some of the classic cars around there. So we've got 2 messages. Debrief from Carl. Good going out there. We were worried about a couple of potential reliability issues over the weekend, and especially in the race. So to get through that gives me a chance to breathe and try and root out some of our underlying problems. To make it to the end and come away with a good result pleases me no end, so well done. And obviously the email there from Emma about the invitational event. So contract, obviously it'll be a few races now until we get this done. Team goal, finish 15th or better. We've completed that now. So after the next event, which I believe is Silverstone, wherever we finish, even if we crash out at on the first lap, we'll gain an extra 400 resource points, which is very, very nice. Our contract value is now ahead of our own value, which is good, because it was a lot higher after the last race. So a couple of more good performances will see our value go higher than our contract value, which is always good to do. That's the rivalry page, and we're just ahead of Raikkonen at the moment. We've completed the rivalry against George Russell, and the driver details were now to 34 points. As you can see, our average finish is 11th, average gauge is 13th. That's gone up from 12th and 14th, I believe, before this event as well. 413 laps driven, a total just under 1,400 miles. So the research and development then, we'll come to that in a second. Vehicle management, how are things looking? 22% on the ICE, 25 on the MGU-H, 25 on the turbocharger. So I think the MGU-H and the turbocharger, with the next 2 durability upgrades to do to make sure they get reduced just a little bit. As for the gearbox, 4 of the 6 events completed, we've gone from 25 to 38%. No issues whatsoever with that. We won't have any gearbox issues during the 6th event, so we'll be able to replace the gearbox after the 6th event, which I believe might be Hungary, it'll be 2 races time, so possibly Germany. And we won't take a grid penalty for that. So we'll go back to the research and development end. We've got nothing in progress at the moment. You can see on the right hand side there we are, on paper, the 7th best team. The progress history as well. We want to kind of close up to Renault, Haas and Force India before the end of the season, potentially overtake them as well. So the durability, for whatever reason, the morale for that is poor. Upgrade price increased by 4%, so I don't really want to be looking at that. The chassis department's okay. Upgrade price reduced by 10%, failure chance reduced by 5%. The powertrain upgrade price by 2%, failure chance 1%. Aerodynamic is nothing. So we've got a bit of money here to do some nice healthy upgrades. The chassis department, we know we are struggling at just a little bit. The aerodynamic department, we know we are horrendous at. Powertrain is good. I'm fine with leaving that for now. Durability, I don't know. I mean, I'm fine with how reliable the car is at the moment. I don't think we'll take any more penalties before the end of the season. If we do, it will just be 1 hit. So I'm quite happy to leave the durability side of it for now. So aerodynamic department, then I think we should spend a bit of money down here getting this increased. You can see there we are quite poor. So we've got 2 minor upgrades available to us. So this is the first one there, the additional cascade winglets for the front wing. Additional winglets on the front wing cascades further benefit airflow and create additional downforce. This should hopefully come in next week for a cost of $540. We can scoot over here then to the rear wing upper flap. Optimizations to the design of the upper flap can result in more efficient use of airflow to increase downforce levels without having a negative influence on drag. That's going to cost $560. And then the chassis department, we can come over to this. Will we have enough for this? We will indeed. So we can get 2 minor upgrades done on this as well. So the rear floor under tray, a revision to the rear floor under tray provides a more symmetrical weight distribution whilst maintaining its rigidity. We've got an increase or a decrease on the failure chance and the development upgrade price as well. And another one that we can do then is lightweight wheel rims. A revision of the wheel design results in lighter wheels which reduce wheel inertia. That's going to cost us 500 litres, 489. I don't think there's anything else we can do. How much does one of these cost? 603. That's not too good. So we can't do one of these, can we? 549. No, we just missed out. So we've got 2 minors and 2 minors on the chassis department and 2 minors on the aerodynamic department. If you see there, if they all come in on the right hand side, it should possibly put us up, I reckon, ahead of Force India. Maybe we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, 4 upgrades there. If they all pass, amazing. I'm expecting probably at least 2 of them to fail, which will be a bit of a disappointment, but it will be half price going into the next event as well. So yeah, that is the weekend done. All in all, strong all the way through. FP1 and FP2 we were very well in the pace. FP3 we finished 3rd fastest, 200ths off the pace. After the qualifying program, qualified in 4th place on our 2nd run on the soft tyres. A very good lap it was as well, and the race was just action-packed, an absolute action-packed race. I'm getting more used to the AI, the way they defend, the way they attack, the way they position their car. I think we put on some very sweet moves in that race. We had a couple of double overtakes as well, and I think we had a triple overtake as well, but it was between, I think, the start-finish line and turn 2. I think after the first stint it might have been, I don't know, I can't remember. So much happened in that race. And going into the last lap, we were 6th, finished the race in 4th, under a lot of pressure, as you can imagine. Really had to manage our fuel and ERS towards the end as well, because we basically ran out. So happy that I managed to get that on point as well. When you come away from Austria with a 4th place in qualifying, a 4th place in the race, loads of points for ourselves and the team, and 4 potential minor upgrades coming onto the car for the next episode, which will be our home event, Silverstone, the halfway point of the season as well, round 10. And things are going to start getting very exciting, because I believe from Germany onwards there's a possibility of driver changes, something new to the game. I might have mentioned it when in one of the first couple of episodes, but for the first time in a very long time as far as I know. We now have active driver changes halfway through the season. There'll be 1 or 2 that could potentially happen, but quite a few more I've been told at the end of the season. So literally drivers change teams. That'll be, I think, after or some point around Germany, which is a couple of episodes from now. But when it does happen, it's going to make things very exciting as well to see who goes where. But of course, for now, until the end of this season at least, we will stay with Alfa Romeo. So a very, very good episode. Very pleased with how the race unfolded. No real mistakes. Overdrove the car a little bit here and there, but we kind of had to keep pushing on. Made the strategy work, kept our position from 4th in the grid to pick up 12 points in a 4th place in the race. So thank you very much for watching this episode, and I'll see you all for the next one very soon.